Good morning. Nice to see so many out this morning, and I know a number of you told me you'd be at home practicing, so that's great. Chakras. What the heck? You know, basically I'm going to just say that you, the floor, your mat, it's all energy. It's all vibrating molecules. And I love the joke, don't trust an atom because they make up everything. I'm so glad you get it. But basically, everything we say and we do and think gets deposited in our bodies, and especially in our major energy centers, which are our chakras. Okay? So we're going to have a practice today, and I'm just going to mention some of the foods that we eat. They affect our chakras along with what we say and do. So, you know, back in the past, I would say everything matters. Well, even in the present, I feel everything matters. So that, you know, if we don't say what we want to say, or if we say something that's unkind, it can affect our throat chakra. If we withhold love, it can affect our heart chakra. If we don't feel secure, or we feel really nervous, and yeah, I mean, listen, they talk about food scarcity, and believe me, that means a lot, that there are people out there suffering with that. That's going to affect your root chakra. That could give you diarrhea. It could make you constipated. I'm just saying it's all connected, okay? The butterflies in the stomach, whatever. Now, you can eat something wrong and it'll affect your stomach area as well. So everything's tied in, but the reason I bring chakras to our attention is that it's another tool that we can use to understand or investigate, why am I having the problem? I like to say a headache is not due to a lack of aspirin. Okay? So doctors are wonderful, but I think that we can do a lot in order to heal ourselves. So let's come on to our backs and just gently awaken our spines, taking your arms out to the side, shoulder height, knees together, feet together. Now, when your feet are your legs are at right angles, start to feel your core engaging too. We want to wake everything up, but we want to do it nicely. So let's lower the left leg down to the mat. Keep your right leg where it is. Left leg down to the side, bent, and then let that right leg come over and meet it. Now you're going to feel that stretch through the upper part of your body and the bottom of your spine. Inhale, bring that right knee up. Leave the left leg where it is. Just let it be. It's going to follow like a baby follows its mother. And then let that right knee gently land and the left on top. Notice the feeling through the lower spine, the hip area, and then right up to the opposite left shoulder. Actually, it's not the opposite. We're working both the same side of the body, but we're manipulating and moving different sides. Lift your left knee up, forget about the right, slowly roll onto your sacrum, and let that left knee alight and the right arrive on top. So feeling one more time the stretch. You might be feeling it through the armpit, you might be feeling it through the shoulder. Practice with awareness. Notice what's going on in your body. Inhale, lift that right leg up, slowly rolling on your sacrum, and the right leg falls, then the left. And just exhale and let go here. Inhale, bring both knees back to center, and let's give it a little hug. Pressing into our third chakra area, solar plexus, and just do a little rocking on your lower back here. And now extend your left leg straight out in front. Keep that right leg bent. And with your left hand on the outside of your right knee, take it over to the left side. So now you're rolling onto your left hip with your right knee, keeping a little bit of pressure on that, releasing stuff from the hip area, junk drawer. Breathing into right hip, right thigh, right glutes. In general, we store fear in the back of our bodies, and we store aggression in the front. So you want to be feeling something in the thigh. Remember that hip, kind of the junk drawer where we shove stuff that we don't have time to deal with. Going through our day, somebody blows the horn at us, somebody doesn't speak kindly to us. All kinds of things are going on all day long. It's all energy. Some of it good, some of it neutral, and some of it not so good. Yoga is a way of letting it go. And inhale, come back to center. Keep that right knee bent. Draw the left knee up in towards the chest. Extend the right leg down in front. And now with your right hand on the outside of your left knee, take it over, rolling over onto your right hip, right side of your body. Extend your left arm out to the side. So chakras are also associated with elements, earth elements. And we're going to begin, of course, at the bottom. And all the chakras will affect the others. So it's not like you have to have all your lower chakras working to make the uppers work, but we start at the bottom, and they're basically, you know, there's differing opinions about where these energy centers are. Let's just say they run the length of your spine, from the tip of your tailbone up to the crown of your head, whether they're a few inches away from the body in the astral, emotional body, or whether they are inside of your body, close to your spine, or circling a pole that goes up through the center of your body. I've heard many different things. It doesn't matter. What we're about to do is going to impact and hopefully balance these energy centers so that they're not weak, nor are they overpowered. Kind of like I'm thinking about skiing right now. You know, we can go really, really slow, and that's kind of hard to move on a hill, or you can go too fast and be out of control. How about in control and enjoying yourself? That's balancing your chakras. And roll over onto, again, your back, drawing both knees up into the center, and then just make some big circles on your back, checking things out. Because we've warmed up our spine now and our major joints, the hips, stretched out the shoulders, so we're ready to roll. And if you wish, you can either roll over onto your side, or you can place your hands underneath the backs of your knees and rock up to a seated position, and then come on over onto all fours. Curl your toes under, walk your hands back, let your head hang, and then slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time. And the last thing to come up, of course, is your shoulders. So, earth element. Hi, Inta. Tadasana, of course, walking around in bare feet connects us with the earth element, root chakra. So let's just begin in Tadasana. And to be honest, when I find myself standing in a grocery lineup or at the bank or wherever I'm hanging out, and you know, for about 2 seconds, I'll stand with my feet turned out. You know, people who have issues in their hips, that is how they're going to stand. It feels better to do that. If your hips are tight, it actually doesn't feel good to have your feet parallel. So just, notice that. However, the alignment of having your feet pointing forward with the outsides of your feet parallel to the outsides of your mat so that your big toes are actually closer than your heels. Okay? And then engage your thighs by lifting up on your kneecaps. Lift your sternum away from your pelvic floor. This helps to balance your hip, your pelvic bowl, so it's neither spilling out backwards or forwards. And then inhale the shoulders up to the ears, exhale, roll them back. And pull your armpits down and let your chin float horizontal to the floor, eyes fixed on an imaginary horizon, and lay your toes down on the floor and let the crown of your head float up. So feel how energizing and activating, even though it just looks like you're standing here doing nothing, you're aligning your chakras. When we sit up tall and straight, we align our chakras. And when our chakras are physically in a line, it makes it easier, obviously, like a string of pearls, to connect with one another. Let's inhale and sweep the arms up and overhead. Interlock your fingers, leave your pointers free to point up. Inhale, your arms are right beside your ears, lifting out of your waist. Let's exhale over to the right. And keep the length in your body. So don't arc so much that you sink into your hips. Go as far as you feel is right for you, keeping your upper shoulder stacked over the bottom. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, lengthening to the other side. Rooting and grounding. Inhale, let your head float back. And then let your arms follow and bring them right beside your ears. And then inhale, stretch up, release your hands, exhale, bend your knees, and swan dive forward, bringing your fingertips to the floor, tented. On an inhale, lift your sits bones, shine your tailbone, stretching out the backs of your legs, and then please let your head just hang. Exhale and bend your knees, lifting your head to straighten your spine. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, reaching up and overhead. Bring your hands into prayer and bring your hands right down in front of your heart chakra. And release your hands down. And then let's go for our sun salutations. This actually enlivens all chakras, does everything. It's like the full-on exercise that works every joint, muscle, nerve, vein, artery, gland, organ. Inhale, exhale, hands in prayer. Feet apart, reach up, look up, and arc back. Inhale, bring your feet together, lift up out of your waist. Exhale, forward fold, fingers to the floor, let your head hang. Step your left leg back, drop your knee to the mat, bring your hands onto your front thigh, have your shoulders directly over your hips, and then lift your back knee off the floor, press into the heel, sweep the arms up, fingertips active, turn your hands forward, spread your fingers apart, take that front leg back, draw your heart center towards your thumbs. Now move your shoulders away from your ears, lengthen through your neck, reach through the crown of your head, press all 10 fingers into the mat a lot, and breathe. Engage your core by pulling your navel up towards your spine. Release your knees, flatten the tops of your feet, leave your hands where they are. Take your hips back towards your heels. Don't move your hands, so we get a nice stretch through the shoulders and the spine. And then leaving your hands where they are, can you lower your forearms and elbows onto the mat? Slowly slither forward, bringing your chest and your chin onto the mat. So I'll mention here, the organ most associated with your root chakra are your adrenals, your stress glands. Slide everything out behind you. So any kind of a back bend nourishes the adrenals as well as the kidneys, which the adrenals sit on top of. Place your forehead on the mat, line your fingertips up with the edges of your shoulders, your toes are pointing backwards. Roll an invisible alley with your nose so your eyes are looking down. On an inhale, lift everything up from the head to the chest without using your hands. Once again, we enliven the adrenals. This is a back bend. Of course, we're strengthening back muscles, pressing into sexual organs, reproductive glands. They actually are part of the first and second chakra, but in different manners. So, and we'll explain that in a moment. So one more breath. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lengthen and lower everything back down. Curl your toes under. Come on up onto your knees. Lift your hips up. Walk your feet a few inches forward. Bend your knees. Press your belly to your thighs, your chest to your knees. Press all 10 fingers into the mat. And then press your sits bones towards the back of your mat to lengthen your spine as you press your heels towards the floor, feeling the stretch in the backs of your legs. So when I say that your sexual organs and glands are part of 2 chakras, the security of feeling safe in that area applies to the root chakra. Lift that left leg up. Tip it over to the right. Have a look under your armpit at your foot and take it back behind you, and then swing that foot as far forward as possible. Other leg forward and let your head hang. Bring your arms beside your ears. Engage your thighs by lifting up on your kneecaps. Pull your bellies in, sweep the arms in front, reaching up, feet apart for balance, look up, arc back. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, forward fold. And bend your knees, sweep the arms out to the side, reaching up and overhead. Bring your hands together in prayer. And let's prepare for the second round. And I am going to turn the heat down. Whew. Okay, there was a bit of a chill in here this morning, but there isn't now. Okay, inhale, exhale, hands in prayer. Step your feet apart, arms up, reach up, look up, and arc back. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, forward fold, fingertips to the floor, let your head hang. Right leg goes back, knee to the mat. Bring your hands onto your front thigh, get your shoulders right over your hips, and then lift that back knee off the floor, press through the heel, inhale and sweep the arms up. Focus your gaze, you're balancing, but staying rooted and grounded. Turn your hands forward, and bring them onto the mat. Take the other leg back. Remember, if you have wrist or shoulder issues, you won't want to put the pressure on your wrists or shoulders. So lift, bring your knees to the floor and just cross your ankles. In the push-up position, of course, engage your core. Pull your belly in, pull your ribs towards one another. Press all 10 fingers into the mat, developing strength and the ability to endure hardship. So this posture would also activate Manipura. This is the 3rd chakra, but we're just going to wrap up. Flatten the tops of your feet, bring your knees down, leave your hands where they are. Take your hips back towards your heels, keeping your hands stationary. Stretch out those armpits, stretch out the shoulders, lengthen the spine. Breathe. And now lower your forearms and elbows. Stay nice and low. Keep your bum high. The rest is low. And then release your chest and your chin onto the mat. Not a flattering posture, but excellent for keeping the alignment of your spine in great shape. Slide everything out behind you. Align your fingertips with the edges of your shoulders, your forehead on the mat. Bring your elbows into your side body and press your forearms down towards the mat, perhaps on the mat. If you wish, you can take your feet wider apart to create some space in the lower sacral area. And then press your hips and thighs into the floor. Roll the invisible alley. Inhale, everybody coming up into baby cobra to start. And then if you wish, push the floor away from you, keeping the shoulders down, keeping the elbows tucked in. coming up into Bhujangasana, Cobra, or staying in baby cobra. Breathe. Again, getting into the adrenals, the gland most associated with Muladhara root chakra. One more breath in. Exhale, lengthen as you slowly lower. Curl your toes under. Come on up onto your knees, lift your hips up, walk your feet a few inches forward. Bend your knees, press your belly to your thighs, your chest to your knees, align your ears with your inner arms. Make sure all 10 fingers are pressed into the floor, and then press your tailbone towards the back wall as you lengthen the spine, lift some of the weight out of the front of the body, and place more into the back by pressing your heels towards the floor. Feel the stretch in the backs of the knees, the calves, the Achilles tendon. So important to keep these areas nice and stretched rather than tight and inflexible. Breathe. And now lift your right leg up and tip it over to the left. Look under your left armpit. Hello, foot. Bring it back up. Look at your front right hand. Swing that foot as far forward as possible. Other leg forward. Let your head hang. Arms beside your ears. Galvanize your thighs by lifting up on your kneecaps. Pull your belly in to protect your lower back. Inhale, sweep the arms up, feet apart for balance. Reach up, look up, arc back. Inhale, lift up out of your waist. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Bring your hands into prayer and down to your heart center or chakra anahata. All right, let's do one more for root, malasana. Now, a couple options here. Malasana is a squatted pose. That heat's going to shut off because I shut it way down. Some of us may want to roll up our mats. You may. I'll just show you here. Because malasana is a squatted position. How lots of women give birth. Now, some of you may not need to roll up your mats, and you're fine. But I'm just saying, if you need extra height under your heels, then roll up your mat. And of course, looky here, we got some good squatters. You didn't know you were good squatters? Now you do. Awesome. And if your heels are off the floor, it's okay. Just, if your heels are on, if you use your mat, so interesting, sleep issues can be the result of an unbalanced root chakra. Well, obviously, if you're not feeling safe, financial insecurity, that'll keep us awake at night. Sleep can also be sahasrara crown issue, pineal gland. So really important that you get sunlight in your eyes every day. It affects melatonin and cortisol. Okay, that will do for that. Come on over onto your backs for a moment and just allow absorption. What I'm going to do is I'll put this music at the back of the room. It's because of YouTube that I can't, but I know that the music's nice, so I'll just, so come on onto your backs into Savasana for a moment to allow the benefits. Let your body be soft and heavy. Close your eyes for a moment. Just unplug. Good deep inhaling and deep exhaling. Inhaling long, full, and deep. and letting go. Draw the knees into the chest, roll over onto your side, and come on over onto your abdomen for the sacral. So sacral, obviously the back's called sacral. This is second chakra. And we'll practice locust pose. So bring your forehead onto the floor, your arms beside your body with your palms facing up. The element associated is water. So of course, this is our center of sexuality, relating to other people. Roll the invisible alley with your nose, so you're looking down at the floor. Tops of your feet are flattened. On an inhale, lift your head, neck, shoulders, arms, and legs coming up into locust. Breathing. So our sexual organs and glands, of course, are the major organs associated with second chakra. This is the area where many in our Western society put a lot of their energy. You only have to go to YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, blah, 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 and see how many people are using their sexuality, their appearances, in order to promote themselves or something else. One more inhalation, and hey, I admit it, I'm in an industry, and then let go. Turn your head to the right, let your shoulders melt, big toes touch, and heels splay out. And it's not about not being sexual. That's not the point. The point is to be balanced in this area. None of us would be here if it weren't for sex. Okay, bring your head back to the center. Let's practice this one more time. We could use the option, if you want, to take your arms out in front. Now that's going to work your shoulders a little more if you prefer, but if your shoulders really don't need that kind of work, then keep your arms beside your body with your palms facing up. If you take your arms forward, your palms will be facing down. On an inhale, press your hips and pelvis into the floor and lift your arms and your legs, head, neck, and shoulders off the floor. And breathe. Second chakra, the color, forgot to mention the color for the first chakra was red. Eating anything red, beets, red grapes, red peppers, anything red. This one, second chakra, anything orange. So oranges this time of year, tangerine, squash, pumpkin, sweet potato, enlivens and balances this area. One more breath in, exhale, and bring your head to the other side. Turn your head to the other side. Shoulders melt, palms facing up, big toes touch, and heels splay out. Even wearing the colors can help to balance. So it's called color therapy. Alrighty, push yourselves back up. Curl the toes under. We'll do one more for this area.
And let your knees are bent, let your torso rest over your thighs, and then slowly roll up to standing, one vertebra at a time.
The goddess pose. So similar to a squat, only we take our feet about 2.5 feet apart. Try to keep your knees pointing over your toes and let your hips sink, and then bring your arms up. Sink as much as you can into this posture to enliven your second chakra. Goddess pose. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, let's take it one more time. Bending your elbows.
Where is that second chakra?
It is below your navel and above your genitals. Inhale, come on all the way up. Okay. Solar plexus above the navel and below the heart or the rib cage. So this area is our center of power, and we're going to do some warrior postures for it and finish up with Navasana. But we know this area, butterflies in our stomach. If you have a job interview or you just feel nervous, you know, I mean, people who have to public speak and they don't like doing it, they got butterflies big time. They don't feel very strong in this area. And then you got someone like Donald Trump, and I use him all the time, but that is an out of balance Manipura chakra. That's like, damn the torpedoes. I don't care what you think. This is the way it is, and you're all idiots. You might know somebody like that. I don't know. By the way, we can absorb negative energy from other people. So we want to be careful who we spend our time with. Or if you're, if you've got your act together, then you can look at them compassionately. And that's eventually what we want to get to. So we can be around anybody and not let their energy affect us or absorb that energy. Okay, so coming up to the fronts of your mat, we'll start with Warrior One. Step your right leg back about 2.5 to 3 feet. So it's not a wide stance. And then take your outside front foot towards the outside of your mat. Your back foot's going to be about 60 degrees forward and your front foot 90 degrees. Now bend your front knee, line up your calf with your heel, but keep the weight in your back foot. That's the anchor of the posture, and keep that leg straight. Press into the outside of your back foot, press into the outside of your front foot. That lifts the arch and it activates your inner thigh. Inhale, sweep the arms up, holding the invisible beach ball. This time of year, some of us might be thinking, hoping, wishing we could be on a beach somewhere. So our pancreas is the organ most associated, but of course, the stomach, the spleen, the liver, all of our abdominal organs are tied into Manipura chakra. Now take your arms behind you, interlock your fingers, keep your front knee bent, squeeze your shoulders together, and then inhale, looking up, and exhale, slowly fold forward, lead with your hearts. This will be the next chakra we deal with, Anahata, and lift your arms up as much as you're able and lower your torso between next to your front thigh and towards the back. Relax your neck, release your arms, and then slowly sweep the arms back up, coming into Warrior One. Shoulders stay down. Rib cage stays in. And now let's turn sideways, pivoting on our feet to move the back foot further back, coming into Warrior Two. So your back leg is straight, your front leg is bent, and then in case your torso's leaning forward, bring it right back so your shoulders are directly over your hips and your wrists are approximately over your ankles. So into your back foot needs to come forward. Yeah, no, not, yeah. I'll just show you here. Yeah, your front foot's 90 degrees and your back foot. And you're lining up I don't know why anybody hasn't made mats with lines on them. Somebody tried it, and for some reason, so there you go. Warrior two, and you're looking over your front fingertips, lowering your shoulders, lengthening through your neck. Okay, this is powering up third chakra, Manipura solar plexus. Lower your back arm, down your back leg for peaceful warriors, lifting that front arm straight up, looking up, reaching up. And then bring your torso back into the center, straighten your front leg, and let's reach forward. So both legs are straight. Reach forward till you can't reach any further, and then hinge and let that front arm fall inside of your front leg, and reach the top arm straight up. You're stacking your arms, one on top of the other. Nice, everybody. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Reaching up, stretching up. Inhale, come on back up. Bring your back leg forward, give your legs a shake out, and let's do the other side. So step your left leg back about 2.5 to 3 feet, and then spread your feet apart. It helps you be able to orientate your hips, your shoulders, and your chest towards the front of your mat. Bend that front knee. Be sure you can see your big toe inside of your knee, and then press into the outsides of both feet. Feel your inner thigh adductor muscles. If these guys are lax, press into the outside and make sure this knee is pressing out. And then inhale, sweep the arms up. If you're feeling any torquing through the area, take your feet, make them wider apart. Looking up through your hands. And then take your arms behind you, interlock your fingers, squeeze your shoulder blades together, look up, exhale, lead with your hearts as you fold forward into humble warriors. So this helps to balance this third chakra, where we're warriors, powerful, and we become humble. Release your hands, keep the front knee bent, and sweep the arms coming back up to the beach ball hand position. And then walk that front foot in towards the center of the mat. Push your back foot back. And remember, you want your front foot 90 degrees, your back foot about 60. And you're going to take your arms front and back of your mat, forwards and backwards. Okay, so point your back foot further, yep. And then this is where you want to press into the outside of this foot so you can see your big toe. But don't lose your balance. Focus, gaze. Nice. From here, lower your back arm, down your back leg. From strong warriors, peaceful warriors. Reaching up, stretching up, looking up. And then bring your arms back to shoulder height, straighten that front leg, reach over your front toes. So you're not even reaching down yet, you're just reaching forward, and then let that front arm organically fall inside of your front leg, reaching the top arm up. Keep your front leg straight, Kelly. Is your front leg straight? It is? Okay. My eyes aren't what they used to be. Reaching up, stretching up. Inhale, bring the arms back and bring that front leg and give your legs a shake out. All right, one more. For the gipper, as Ronnie would say. What is a gipper anyway? Ronald Reagan.
Isn't it a fish?
Is it a fish, a gipper? I don't know what it is. You know what? My friend Jane will know. And if she doesn't, she'll look for it. Right, Jane?
Kipper. Kipper's a fish. Is that what you said, Kipper?
A gipper, yeah. Well, that's what I thought Ronald Reagan used to say. Okay, kids, we good? All right, come on onto your backs for Navasana, boat pose. Very empowering. So, you know, and the thing is, well, you say, well, why would I want to do this? Well, you know what? Maybe you need to power up for Christmas time sometimes to spend time with people that kind of press your buttons. Yeah, they rock your boat. Well, they're not gonna be able to rock you. You'll be solid. All right, so place your hands underneath the backs of your thighs and roll back onto your sits bones and just lift the lower part of your legs up. And for me, the bottom line is, if somebody's bothering me, I need to notice where I'm feeling bothered and why it's bothering me, right? And I know a lot of you are doing a lot of work. It's worth it. Life is short, death is long. Honestly, I mean, there are people who think they turned around, they were alive during World War II and they're back again. Okay, fine, maybe you were. But for the most part, you spend more time out of your body than you do in your body. So we want to have a good time in our bodies. Okay, let's release our hands. Lovely, wow. Can we straighten our legs? Okay, roll back onto your backs. Nice, everybody. Whoa, and just do a little rocking from side to side as we move towards Anahata, thymus, heart, gland. And of course, we pretty much all know about the heart center. One of our favorite places to be, makes us very, very human. And I'm just looking here, okay, yes. All righty, so let's come back up to a seated posture. You're gonna place your hands, we're gonna do a reverse plank. Now, if you have, again, shoulders or wrist issues, this may not be for you. And if that is the case, you can come into camel pose, Ustrasana, all right? But let's see what happens here. So place your hands flat on the floor with your fingertips pointing forward and your knees are bent. And basically, you're just gonna lift your body off the floor, but this is strengthening. I mean, it takes a lot of weight on the shoulders and the wrists, so be mindful. And bring everything back down. And give the wrists a little bit of a roll out. And this time we'll try to lengthen this posture. So Anahata, you know, I got one of those fluorescent hearts and it was like, oh, which color do I get? Oh, it was it's like going to an ice cream store. If there's too many flavors, it's hard on my nerves. Anyway, I ended up with green. Green represents the color of the heart. Some people will tell you pink is the color of the heart, whatever. But in yoga, we call green. So eating green vegetables, avocado, cucumber, zucchini, green beans, green peppers, green grapes, anything green, okay? All right, so now keep your feet a little bit further in front. In fact, your feet aren't flat on the floor, but your hands are flat on the floor with your fingertips pointing forward, and then lift everything off the floor. So this really becomes your reverse plank pose, strengthening Anahata, your heart chakra. Green foods, thymus gland. Thymus controls the immune system, or at least it has a major impact on the immune system. And of course, love probably strengthens us in ways that we can hardly imagine, but love definitely heals. All right, lower everything back down and let's bring ourselves down onto the mat. And again, just a little bit of rocking on the lower back. Okay, hands underneath the backs of the knees, and let's come up and do camel pose, Ustrasana, for those people who may not have done this at home, and you may not feel like doing, because that is quite a demanding posture for the wrists and the shoulders. So coming up onto your knees, curl your toes under. Again, last posture for activating the heart chakra. You can place your hands on your waist, and then lower your left hand onto your heel and lean back. And then can you place your right hand on your heel and lean back? So lifting the heart center, camel pose, pressing hips forward. And place your left hand on your waist and your right hand. And let's flatten the tops of the feet. Take the knees out to the edges of your mat. Flatten the tops of your feet because your toes were just curled under. Slowly take your hips back towards your heels into child's pose. Another posture that strengthens our root chakra. And then lower your torso between your thighs. If you can, place your forehead on the floor. If you need to elevate, fold your forearms one on top of the other and release your forehead onto your mat. Lungs, heart, and kidneys are also associated, well, obviously the heart, but the lungs and the kidneys with this fourth chakra. And the fourth chakra is kind of the bridge between the higher and lower nature. The lower nature is greatly affected by the ego. That's a whole other subject. The ego would rather be right than wrong, or than happy, pardon me. The ego would rather be right than happy. So just breathing into your side and your back ribs. Okay. And next up is come on up onto your knees and come on onto your back. So the next one's the throat chakra. And this is a pretty powerful one because a lot of us, especially as women, if we've been told not to rock the boat and we are silenced a lot. So finding a way to speak our truth, to honor ourselves is obviously important for our health. And any issues in the throat area can be a reflection of where we have felt silenced and not feeling confident to say what it is we need to say. So one of the best things for your throat chakra, of course, will be the inversions. And it's shoulder stand, halasana. If you aren't feeling that you wish to do that sort of thing, then just place something, because the value of an inversion is still so great. Put something under your sacrum and then just lift up as much as you can and try and get to some compression into your throat area. For those of you who are okay with shoulder stand and plow post, bend your legs, soles of your feet on the floor, arms beside your body, lift your hips up and come on into a half Ardha Chaturanga, and just hang out here. So this is almost like plow pose. And the color associated with this chakra is blue. Ether is the element, air. Makes sense. So it's kind of a lighter blue. Anything blue, eating, even vegetables, sometimes they make blue broccoli, but obviously blueberries, blackberries. Okay, walk your hands a little bit further up. And as I say, you can come straight into halasana or come on up into shoulder stand. The queen position, it doesn't stretch out your lower back quite so much. Strengthens the lower back. Plow pose, halasana, of course, really stretches the spine. But this compression at the throat area that we're going for right now. And
nourishing this area by reversing the blood flow. Relax your feet. And with your legs spread wide apart, lower them carefully down over behind the back of your head. Bring your hands onto the floor, bring your legs together, and slowly release your torso back down onto the mat, slowly lowering the legs. Inhaling in place, exhale, draw the right knee up. Place your left hand on the outside and twist once again, rolling over onto your left hip, just to release your lower back. Inhaling, coming back to center. Draw the other knee up. Exhale, straighten your right leg down in front. Place your right hand on the outside of the left knee, taking it over to the opposite side, rolling onto your right hip. And coming back into the center, place your hands underneath the backs of your thighs, if it's okay to roll up this way, or roll over onto your side and use your top arm to press yourself back up. So moving into third eye, Ajna chakra. This is the seat of intuition. The pituitary gland is the most prominent, and we're going to do rabbit pose first, and then we're going to do eagle pose, which strengthens Ajna chakra. So once again, you come onto your knees, flatten the tops of your feet. You're going to try to place your forehead on the floor as close as you can to your knees, and take hold of your heels with your hands, and then roll up as much as you can onto your knees so that you're lifting your hips up. And it's kind of like you're trying to stick your head in the rabbit hole. All the foods in the blue and violet family nourish your third eye, Ajna chakra. So last night I texted a couple that I know, and they said, "Oh, we were just thinking about you." Well, was I picking up on them? Were they picking up on me? Because that's kind of when we're clairvoyant, when we think about something and we can manifest it, or somebody's calling us, and that will do. Lift your heads back up and just take a moment here to sit up straight. And then curl the toes under. Roll back onto the soles of your feet. And some of us know people who are clairvoyant, they're psychic. And then slowly roll up, leaving your chin tucked into your chest, continuing to nourish the throat chakra, and let your head be the last thing to come up. Okay, so our balance pose, eagle posture, Garudasana. So we know that eagles, falcons, they can see something like 200 kilometers in front of them. They're not psychic, they just have that capacity, but would we like to be able to see deeper into our own lives, into other people's lives, into what life is all about? Sure, why not? If it's useful and beneficial. All right, so let's balance first on the right foot. So I'm not going to do the mirror image just so I don't mess up here. But because we're going to be standing on our right foot, we're going to take our arms out to the side and bring the right arm under the left. Right arm under the left. Take hold of your shoulder blades. Right arm under left. Transfer your weight onto your right foot. Now bend the knee a lot. Release your arms. If you're able, maybe your backs of your hands just touch each other, or maybe you can bring your fingers around to the inside of the palm. Now take your time for balance, but bending that standing leg a lot helps us wrap the other one around. And if you don't feel that you're really balanced today, keep your toes of the foot that you're not standing on, just keep the toes on the floor. Otherwise, attempt to wrap around standing on one leg. And release, and give your arms a good shake out. Okay, so left arm under right, left arm under right. Got to think about that, huh? Left arm under right. Now you're going to transfer your weight onto your left foot. Okay, release your arms and lift the other leg up and over. You need to bend the standing leg as much as possible. And release. Good work. Take your legs wide apart. Stand sideways. Take your arms out sideways on your mat. Arms are shoulder height. So widen your legs as much as you can, at least 3, if not 3.5 feet. Fold forward halfway, fingertips tented on the mat. Let's release the lower back. Inhale, sweep the right arm up. Reaching up, stretching up, and looking up. Feel the stretch in your inner thigh, which I hope you've worked. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, sweep the other arm up, reaching up, stretching up, looking up. Exhale, float it down. Let's lunge over to the left side, bringing your bum close to your heel. Inhale, up and over to the other side. And back into the center. Walk your feet in towards one another. And if you need to put any clothing on, please do so to prepare for Shavasana, which that and meditation address and connect us with our crown chakra. Most of us are not going to have our crown chakras terribly active in this lifetime unless we work very hard to make that connection. But we have moments. Have your arms close to your body, palms facing up in the open and receiving position. Eyes are closed. Let your eyeballs sink into their sockets. Let your body be soft and heavy. Follow your breath in through your nose, pushing your belly up and letting the belly fall as you elongate your exhalation. Of course, Shavasana not only offers us a gateway into Sahasrara, the crown chakra, the 1,000-petal lotus, but it's at the very physical level, allowing the benefits of our performance to be absorbed.
So not spending time in Shavasana after a yoga class is not getting the benefits. It'd be kind of like, no, I don't want to use that example, but I was thinking of purging. But truly, Shavasana is one of the most important postures in yoga. It's also grounding, of course. And the body is in pretty much perfect alignment when we're lying down. If your posture is perfect, seated and standing all day long, great. But for a lot of us, we're busy working with a keyboard, with a screen, arms are in front, preparing food, doing things, writing, reading. It's hard to keep that alignment. So another benefit of Savasana is that your body is now in perfect alignment. Inhaling the life force, long, full, and deep, and deep. Exhaling. Long, full, deep. Inhaling, and deep. Exhaling. Reach your arms over behind your heads. Reach and stretch. Point feet far. Flex and point. And drop your arms down by your side. Take your time to roll over onto your side. Use your bottom arm as a pillow just for a moment. And I'd like to finish off our class today sitting up in a cross-legged position or whatever's comfortable for you. Bringing your hands into prayer. Placing our hands in prayer in front of our third eye, Ajna Chakra, reminding us to have clear and loving thoughts. Bring your hands in prayer to your throat, reminding us to have clear and loving communication. And bringing it to our heart centers.